Before we step into the heart of Mythalel's dimension, let's take a moment to reminisce about Mythalel's storied past. Known throughout the realms for his legendary magical adventures, Mythalel once traveled through enchanted forests, where mythical creatures live, and over majestical mountains, gathering arcane wisdom and powerful artifacts. His journeys unveiled the secrets of magical crafting, leading him to establish this channel where the realms of magic and the mundane intertwine. Welcome to Mythalel's Dimension, where magic meets the mundane. Join us as we blend the enchanting with the everyday in our unique DIY projects. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey with Bob the Bang-Up Boffo of board building. Brother Bob has a knack for combining sorcery with sawdust. In each episode, Bob will take us through the mystical art of transforming ordinary objects into magical masterpieces. So, grab your goggles and glitter, and let's dive into a world where every tool has a tale and every crafting session is a spellbinding story. Behold the hypnotic dimensional sander. Need a wizard's tool? You'll never find grander. Bob, with his magical mutated hands, smooths the wood so bland. This isn't the first glimpse of Bob's mystical prowess. Recall his enchanted unicorn chisel in that other episode, and the brush, with special properties I haven't made up yet, we will find out about in episode 12. Each of these tools are unique, yet none as mesmerizing as the hypnotic dimensional sander. With a flick and a swish, it surpasses all. It fulfills all. It fulfills every wish. And when the pixie dust settles and the shop clears, unlike after the chisel, or the brush, or that other thing, it shows no tears. It reveals a surface so smooth, this magical touch through the sander doth prove. Hark! Casper and his comely companion, Orange Slice, embark on another merry hike, reminiscent of their past adventures, that maybe in future episodes, leave a comment. With their hiking boots snug and backpacks nowhere to be found, memories of ancient trees and mystical creatures from their previous journeys spark excitement for what lies ahead. They tread into the lush, whispering woods, their steps syncopated to the natural orchestra of chirping birds and rustling leaves, each sound a strange oddity to their heavy, metal-trained ears. The air, crisp and tinged with the scent of pixie dust and fresh mountain dew, invigorates their spirits as they venture deeper into this new mystical realm. Yet another chapter in their book, Two Dudes' Awesome Adventures. As they round a bend festooned with a bunch of sticks and rocks, a peculiar sound catches their ears. A gross goblin named Pops, hidden partially behind a garbage can, peeks out. His eyes twinkle with mischief, and his voice, a curious blend of melody and mirth, spills forth playful riddles and rhymes. Good morrow to thee, fine wood wanderers. Can thou solve the puzzle of mine? What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows. This encounter, reminiscent of a sly fairy pickpocket they once parlayed with in the mall, brings a smile to their faces. Casper, intrigued and amused, exchanges a glance with Orange Slice. They parlay in drow hand code, their fingers curling around these and thous. As they ponder the goblin's riddle, their minds sharpened by the myriad of puzzles they've solved in forests yore. Pray, kind sprite, is it a mountain that thou speaketh of? Casper responds, his voice steady and confident. The goblin claps his hands delightfully, his laughter echoing like bells through the forest canopy. Encouraged by their successful engagement, reminiscent of their lively exchanges with the creatures of Silverpine Grove, they continue their dialogue, each riddle weaving a tapestry of language and laughter. Each solution brings them closer to the heart of the enchanted forest. As the sun dances through the leaves, casting mottled shadows on their path, our hero's journey is enriched by the layers of their past endeavors, filled with banter and the joy of shared discovery. With laughter still echoing through the woods, Casper and Orange Slice press onward, their spirits as light as the air around them, their bond deepened by the shared delight of the goblin pop's riddling encounter. The forest seems to hum with the sound of woodworking. The magic of the moment transforms into the very focus of our adventure, Bob's broom build in his magic woodshop. As we enter the room, Casper, the psychic sage of pixie dust, with a knack for nailing the nuances of novice craftsmanship. Let's flash forward to next year when Casper will predict a similar crafting catastrophe at the annual Woodwork Fair. His foresight will have saved the day, turning a potentially disastrous split in a giant oak into a feature that won the Most Creative Use of Material award. As Bob, still reveling in the allure of his brilliant bookcase, begins to prepare for his next challenge, as he greets a curious figure standing near the doorway, grinning subtly. This is no regular guest. This is Casper, revered in every corner of the realm as the Geist with a gift. With a twinkle in his eye, Casper spots Bob's future blunders from several minutes away. He can almost sense the thoughts of those around him, and quickly discerns Bob's future mistakes. He advises, "The wood whispers, work it tenderly, like good food." As Bob reaches for the sentient magical plank, Casper steps in, his tone as smooth as polished stone, and intercepts. "Planning to try to tackle that plank with force again, Bob?" Bob, guard and silent about his intentions, looks up, Casper's eyes shimmering with a blend of mischief and insight. "That plank in your hand? It's enchanted, filled with concealed potential that could be disastrous for the overzealous craftsman." Flashback to 6 months earlier when Casper had advised another woodworker, who heeded his advice against using aggressive sanding on a complex piece of dragon bone, which resulted in a stunningly intricate chest that became the centerpiece of a local exhibition. Bob, captivated yet slightly confused, listens attentively. Casper continues, "The wood communicates not with word, but with a mystical essence and texture. You have to feel its spirit. Allow your sander to glide gently over it like a leaf in the wind, no need to force it." Bob nods, absorbing the profound guidance. Guiding Bob through a dance of delicate decisions, Casper turns potential pitfalls into a parade of perfection. With Casper's crafty counsel, Bob's broom building becomes a ballet of brushes and brilliance. In the midst of the mystical broom crafting, Casper, with a twinkle in his eye, recalls a tale from the past. "Before you proceed, Bob," he begins, his voice echoing with nostalgia, "let me take you back to when you first stumbled upon the enchanted wood we use today." The air fills with the scent of ancient forests as Casper recounts the day Bob, lost in the verdant vale, found a grove lit by the moon's magic mirror, where wood wildly pulsed, pumping with magical energy. That very wood, Casper continues, went on to craft the magnificent Swan's Crossing's enchanted guitars. With a knowing smile, he leads Bob to a dim corner of the workshop, where a dusty curtain conceals a marvel. With a flourish, Casper reveals the guitars, each shimmering under an ethereal light, crafted from the same enchanted wood Bob discovered when he travels back in time. "Introducing Swan's Crossings," Casper announces, "where every guitar strums a spell of its own." As Mithalel, a bona fide guitar wizard, appears, plucking the strings, a melody that sparkles and dances through the air fills the workshop, enchanting every tool and timber. Swan's Crossing's guitars are not just instruments, but assist us as magical companions on our creative journeys. "My Swan's Crossing's guitar isn't just an instrument, it's a companion on a magical journey." Mithalel's voice is laced with wonder. As the scene closes, Casper's voice returns. "Bob, just like with your bookshelf, the magic is not just in the making, but in the melody it creates." Inspired anew, Bob turns back to his broom building, eager to weave the same enchantment into his creations. As Bob the Builder perfects the smoothing of the magical plank, he begins the assembly of the broom. Each movement shows his growth as a woodworking wizard and his growth as a craftsman, much refined since his first magical creation. Suddenly, with a thunderous roar and a flash of light, Kilgore the dragon appears, offering to lend his breath to speed up the drying process. Recalling the time Kilgore helped harden the mystical shield, Bob rhymes in gratitude. "Oh, fiery friend with breath so hot, thanks for the dry, you hit the spot." Together they laugh, and Bob continues, aligning each bristle with precision and care. He enchants the bristles, now with more skill than before, binding them to the handle with enhanced spells, ensuring they stay in place during flight, all while Kilgore watches with a proud, smoky grin. The thrilling test, the maiden marvel of a flight. Bob, with a history of successful enchantments under his belt, from the floating hat to the whirlwind baseball bat, now beckons the broom to life. With bated breath and a track record of triumphs, he utters the command word. The broom levitates, hovering tantalizingly above the ground. He hands it to Uncle Bud, who hops heartily aboard, harnessing a mix of mirth and mild mayhem. The broom bolts through the blue, bobbing beautifully between the billowing branches. Bud maneuvers with agility and grace, feeling the wind whip through his hair. Bud, buzzing with bliss, breezes by barriers, basking in the breath of freedom beneath his bristles, his latest creation promising to be his grandest yet. Bob's journey, marked by trial and error, has been a spectacle of magical crafting. Initially struggling with basic spells and handling simple materials, his progress is now evident. From his early fumbles with rudimentary planks to mastering creation of a regal riding broom, Bob has transformed his skills through persistence learning from past mistakes. Each victory and mishap has been a stepping stone, leading to a deeper of magic and forging lasting bonds with his mystical companions. And now, a special treat for our viewers. Just as we once witnessed the devilish dance of the fire fairies in Mythalel's dimension, today we gather round the mystical mirror lake where a group of unicorns stands in anticipation. Recall how our journey through the enchanted forests led to magical encounters that left us in awe. Each time one of you clicks like or subscribe, watch as these majestic creatures, akin to the winged serpents we saw soaring over the crystal cliffs, sprout shimmering wings one by one. With each new subscriber, another unicorn flaps its splendid new wings, preparing for takeoff. And there they go. Ascending into the sky, each unicorn leaves behind a trail of sparkling pixie dust, painting the horizon with their enchantment. Remember, your likes and subscribes not only support us, but also send these majestic creatures on their flight, joining the ranks of the magical beings we've witnessed in Mythalel's dimension. Thank you for believing magic and continuing this wondrous journey with us.